Hey everyone, this is Laura. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my experience dealing with KDP's content review team. Now, if you're just starting your KDP journey, you might not know who they are or what exactly they do. And in fact, maybe most common team that you dealt with on KDP might just be the support team. But the content review team is actually very, very important. In fact, they're actually in charge of approving or rejecting your book when you're uploading the book, or at some point, they're actually going to either block your book or terminate your account. So this time last year, I actually got into trouble with them. And by accident, they blocked my bestseller from a very competitive niche. It took me many months to rank my book all the way up to the bestseller in a very, very competitive niche. And they decided to block my book this time last year. So I was devastated. And in today's video, I want to share with you my experience. And by the way, I was able to turn that around, but I wanted to share with you exactly what happened because it's a very devastating situation that I don't wish that to happen to anybody. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now, before we dive in deeper, I just wanted to clarify everybody's situation with the content review team could be a little bit different. But I know there are two common reasons where publishers get into trouble with the content review team. The first one is when you're using the Canvas royalty-free images into whatever book that you're making, most likely coloring book. Okay, so let's say you found a cute unicorn image that you want to use that into your children's coloring book. And what most beginners would do was simply just drag and drop that unicorn and into a blank page and they think job done. But that is not the case. Even though, yes, these are royalty-free images, but Canva's blanket term isn't in compliance with KDP's rules and regulation. But what you could do in that situation is that simply you can add your unique twist to the unicorn. Let's say, for example, you can add some flowers around it, or maybe simply just add a pair of wings to your unicorn. So that become your unique design. So that is allowed. The second situation is when people having multiple KDP accounts, which I don't know why they would do that, but I heard some people just happen to have a second KDP account by accident. And in that situation, it's very, very unfortunate because you're now allowed to have multiple KDP accounts, and Amazon will trace your account to your IP address based on when you log into your account, etc. So in that situation, it's very, very unfortunate, and it's very hard to get your account reinstated because first of all, it's against the rules or regulation. And what would happen is the content review team will send an email saying that, unfortunately, we're going to terminate your account because you have multiple KDP accounts and you will end up losing your royalty, and the books that you publish under one of the accounts or both the accounts will end up losing the position. So that is a very unfortunate situation and also a serious violation against KDP's terms and condition. But in my situation, I didn't use any Canvas royalty-free images. I actually went to a very reputable stock image website because I wanted to have a nice cover, okay? And also my interior is very image heavy. So basically, I wanted to make sure the user or reader experience is up to standard or even better than my competition. Okay, so I went to a very unique and also reputable stock image website, purchased the stock images, making sure that I can use them in my book. And I did everything by the book, but still my book was temporarily blocked by the content review team without stating or telling me exactly what happened. So I remember at that moment, I was in complete panic and I still had to work that day. And I don't wish that happened to anybody. A few days later, the content review team actually got back to me and they told me that they're going to further block my book because they think I'm distributing my book on TikTok. And I was very surprised because I didn't even have a TikTok account back then. So how is that even possible? And this situation is really getting out of control. So I hired an attorney to take out the situation for me. The first thing they asked me was simply, "Hey, Laura, did you ever copyright your book?" And at that point, I was pretty ignorant with the whole copywriting situation because I thought, number one, when I first wrote this manuscript, it was already copyrighted by me anyway. So what's the point, right? And the second, I also told my attorney it will take me quite a long time to register or get a copyright certificate for my book from the official website. So that's why I don't have any or protection, so to speak. And thinking back right now, when KDP actually said, "Hey, you don't own the publishing rights. We don't think you own the publishing rights," which is the original email that caused the block of my book. I really just felt like if I actually registered or get a copyright for my manuscript at the point of publishing, or at least have some kind of protection, I wouldn't need to or have to, one, go through all the mental stress because it was very stressful when you're going through this situation. And two, I wouldn't have to hire an attorney and also lose a sale of my book. And those are the three main things that really, to this date, I still remember vividly, just like with the copyright situation, that really is a big lesson I learned. I had to quickly resolve this because I don't want my paperback to continue losing the ranking position on Amazon. So if I go for the official copyright registration route, that's going to take me at least 30 days. So at that point, I was looking for a service that's quick and accepted by Amazon and basically get me out of the trouble. And I was able to find protectmywork.com, which is behind me, and I will leave a link in my description. And what I did was simply uploaded my manuscript, provided the book title, the book cover, and also the author name and my legal name. And basically, I was able to get an electronic copyright certificate instantly. I took that certificate and gave it to my attorney. I said to them, hey, let's try this. And to my surprise, Amazon, once they received all my supporting documents, they simply just unblocked my book immediately. And I was very surprised and almost upset with the situation that I was ignorant myself and I didn't really care that much about the copyright situation because I thought, why would anyone do this to me? But surprisingly, that actually happened when people were actually using your work, or in this case, my work, without my permission and got me into trouble. And I had to pay for the attorney fees and also the sale that I lost, which is pretty significant at that point. And I really just felt like if I, or had I ever registered for a copyright for my manuscript at the point when I published on Amazon, none of this would have happened. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video, and just wanted to share with you my real life experience on Amazon KDP. I honestly don't wish this to happen to anybody. It's not that I'm complaining about KDP's content review team, but I was the one that's being ignorant, not to care that much about my copyright, the copyright of my book. It's just simply because I thought nobody would do that, or that would never happen to me, but that actually happened to me. And also maybe it's because my experience is very unique and my book is in a very competitive niche, so that become the natural easy target for that kind of activity where people actually using my work illegally without my permission. And because I didn't have the copyright, that was a very stressful and very costly experience for me. And I don't wish that happened to anybody. So make sure to go check out protectmywork.com, which I will leave a link in my description. And also, if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, drop me a like, and leave me any comments you have regarding your KDP journey, and I will get back to you as much as I can. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.